I can't believe I'm watching this. I've heard about this IGN review of Mario and Luigi Brothership, which, by the way, I've been playing that game a lot lately. I've gone through so much of it. It's like, okay, well, let's find out why IGN graded this really low. I think they gave it like a 5 out of 10, even though in other countries it was like 9 out of 10. IGN couldn't agree with itself, apparently. I want to know what their rationale is when it comes to this game, and I'll make a few points here and there, because this is interesting.
If you've been living under a rock for the last year and are craving a Mario RPG, then I've got good and bad news. 3 of them in the last 12 months.
Yeah, that one's successful, and this one especially. This one's successful.
The bad news is that Mario & Luigi Brothership, the only fully original adventure of the bunch, is easily the worst.
Okay, I gotta disagree, because I put this alongside Bowser's Inside Story, which, by the way, I still have it, like, after all these years, and I really want to go back to this. I still have my 2DS. Not the brick, not the one that looks like a literal brick, but the one that you open and close. So how is this one of the worst?
Apart from its exciting action-packed battles, it fails in almost every way to recapture the magic of the best Mario & Luigi games while also clinging to their bad habits. That includes ridiculously chatty dialogue, overbearing hand-holding, and boring runtime padding.
Okay, while some of the runtime padding might be a little problematic, it wasn't too problematic. Now, as far as the dialogue, I had no problems with the dialogue. In fact, a lot of the dialogue helps you. Oh, but it's called hand-holding. We gotta hold your hand.
Fetch quests.
Well, isn't it a part of the Mario and Luigi series is to, like, go on these side quests or whatever? I'm pretty sure that was a thing in Bowser's Inside Story.
Couple that with shockingly bad performance issues, and the nearly 10-year wait for a brand new Mario & Luigi game hardly felt worth it by the time the credits rolled.
Really? That's what you're gonna call this review? You're titling this review, "Oh Brother," and have like the Mario Bros crying? Wow.
A great idea on paper, but in practice, nautical navigation boils down to this pretty...
Okay, hold on. This is a pretty simple map. So, IGN's gonna tell me that this is boring, that this is complicated. Like, how hard is it to click on a current? How hard is it to pick and choose where to go?
Unspectacular ocean map where you pick your next destination and then wait as you inch your way there.
Well, you don't have to wait because later on they introduce like fast sailing.
To uncover new islands
and you show that.
On paper.
You show that. Look at that.
Navigation boils down to this.
Faster sailing turned on and you turn it off. It's like you can turn that on and off at some point. So how is this complicated? How is this boring? How is this padding?
Pretty unspectacular ocean map where you pick your next destination and then wait as you...
Well, you don't have to wait, like if you have fast sailing on. If fast sailing is turned on, you don't have to wait as much. Oh, well, we can't really do that. It takes too long. Oh, I don't know how to press a simple button to make the ship go faster. And you guys show that, of you guys turning fast sailing on and off.
I felt like a kid in the backseat on a road trip, just wondering if we were there yet.
That's your opinion. You just showed us that you could turn fast sailing on and off not too long ago.
This is the rare game starring Mario that feels designed specifically for ages 6 to 12 rather than ages 6 to 80.
Then why are adults playing this? As a matter of fact, you guys are playing this game for your stupid review, so why are you saying it's for kids?
Tutorials and dialogue are constantly holding your hand. For example, almost any time you enter a new area, the camera slowly pans over to your objective and slowly pans back like this.
Well, there's a lot of camera pannings in Bowser's Inside Story. There were camera pannings in Thousand Year Door, Luigi's
and
Mansion.
By an outlet who basically spells out exactly what you need to do. It also spends far too much of its already bloated 34-hour runtime repeatedly reminding you of the overarching story.
So wait, it takes 34 hours to complete this game? And you say it's bloated? Well, I wonder how long it took you guys to make this review. How long? Tell us. Or was it really quick? Like, you gotta get this review out quick. That's the thing that I don't like about these professional game reviewers. They want to take apart a game that's pretty good, kind of like this one. It was like, I bet they didn't play through the whole thing. If they played through the whole thing, which I'm going to, if they played through the whole thing, then they would understand why this is this and what's what. Yeah, I think they'll get to the story part in a little bit. But anyway, continue.
It also spends far too much of its already bloated 34-hour runtime repeatedly reminding you of the overarching story and objective.
Okay, while some boss battles are bloated, not all of them are. I mean, take my Bowser battle, for example. Oh yes, we gotta have the obligatory Bowser battle in one of these RPGs.
Oh yeah. It's a cool. Oh, hey.
It may have been long, but it wasn't boring. It had a lot of exciting moments, and you get to attack Bowser with the Bros attacks, which are super awesome.
Far too much of its already bloated 34-hour runtime repeatedly reminding you of the overarching story and objective.
Oh yeah.
Time repeatedly reminding you of the overarching story and objective. And he meets intention. Where were on point.
Oh yeah.
I would be more forgiving of this chattiness if they.
I was like, what the hell? Shout out to IGN for not turning off comments. Chatty dialogue, tutorials, fetch quest, bad performance, 10-year wait. Yeah, that's irrelevant. It's not Wind Waker. Reminds you of story frequently. Well, that's the thing. How else are you going to proceed through the story when you don't know what's going on? Original characters. Yeah, we'll get to the original characters in a moment. Yeah, but did anybody catch that? Like, the frame just froze. I don't know if it's from the game or it was from the people who uploaded this video. I don't know if anybody caught that.
Basically spells out exactly what you need to do. It also spends far too much of its already bloated 34-hour
I honestly thought it was my
runtime
computer, but
repeatedly
no.
reminding you of the overarching story and objective.
See? There it goes again.
Oh, yeah.
I would be more forgiving of this chattiness
So they had to have rushed this review out the door.
if the humor and story were on point, but unfortunately the writing just doesn't land.
What do you mean there wasn't any humor? There was plenty of moments where I was laughing.
Snoutlet's primary joke is telling everyone he meets that he's definitely not a pig, which is just one of several unfunny gags that are beaten into the ground.
Oh yeah, just wait until Bowser meets Snoutlet.
No.
And plus, not all of the jokes revolve around Snoutlet. There are plenty of other jokes too. Like, especially when it comes to Bowser, like, he's so animated in this one.
Brothership makes an admirable attempt at telling a story about the importance of connections, but it's another area where the idea is better than the execution. The writing is just so unoriginal,
What are you talking
and I
about?
didn't get attached to any of this large cast in the same way I have with so many companions from past Mario RPG.
Okay, they're original characters, and we also get to know a lot of these different characters. They have their own story, they have their own problems, they have solutions to said problems. It's like, I think you're missing the point where you're not getting the idea of love and connection and friendship. There's a lot of connections, a lot of different connections. We're talking love, we're talking friendship, marriage. We're talking a lot of stuff. And to say the story isn't that good and the connections aren't that good, is like, dude, you can't be serious with that.
But the power outlet-shaped residents of Concordia just didn't resonate with me. Their blocky look is a bit rudimentary.
What are you
and
talking
clashes
about?
with
This,
the
like,
style of characters from the Mushroom Kingdom. All the islands you visit are
that's the whole point. They're different from the Mushroom Kingdom. They got zapped into a different world, so obviously it's not the Mushroom Kingdom. Even in Bowser's Inside Story, they managed to create all these different characters to go along with the Mushroom Kingdom. And let me show you. Let me show you this one character. Broke Monsieur. Remember him? And his dog, Broggy? And let's not forget Fawful and Starlo. And they managed to exist in the Mushroom Kingdom. Original characters.
All the islands you visit are very generic too. For a series that once had microscopic versions of Mario and Luigi roaming around Bowser's internal organs, these areas feel disappointingly safe.
No. This doesn't look safe. This is a scenario with, like, trying not to get caught. You mean to tell me that security guards with flashlights, that's safe? That doesn't look safe. Like, you're trying not to get caught in this scenario.
This is easily one of the worst performing Nintendo games on Switch, with incessant frame rate issues while exploring the overworld. Brothership chugs.
Okay, admittedly, sometimes the frame rate might chug a little, but like 99% of the time it still works.
Anytime there's some
It's
sort
like
of
it wasn't
environmental
much of an
element
issue.
present, like rushing water. That frame rate wasn't quite as bad when playing handheld. I'm sorry to report that I simply didn't enjoy playing on my television, and I don't recommend you do either.
I play this on my television a whole lot, so if I didn't have problems playing this on my television, then you shouldn't have any problems either. Oh, Luigi takes the L? Funny, haha.
But it's particularly disappointing because it fundamentally misunderstands the best elements of its own series.
Like
That's
what?
most clearly seen in how it completely mishandles Luigi. In past adventures, Luigi follows right behind Mario, and
Yeah, but what if they wanted to have Luigi, like, be more special in this one? Like, in Bowser's Inside Story, Starlo, at some point, tries to discredit Luigi, try to downplay him, but they had to, like, sit her down and be like, well, he's not that useless. I won't tell you where that part is, because it's a spoiler. I think what I just said was a spoiler, but, you know, that scene is in there. I promise you. And I've played this a bunch of times already, so it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. I like the idea of Luigi having a significance in this one. IGN is not used to seeing Luigi having special abilities this time around.
In Brothership's overworld, though, Luigi feels more like an NPC ally than a second protagonist. He follows Mario at a disconnected, awkward distance. He can jump on his own.
Yeah, he was following Mario in Bowser's Inside Story. And I know I had to use, like, the B button to make him jump and whatever. So I was pretty surprised that he could jump automatically while he's following Mario.
That loses the unique style of previous games and feels so
No, it
watered
doesn't.
down by comparison. Like platforming segments where Mario needs to jump on the red platforms and Luigi
I thought the platform segments were clever.
follows suit on green ones. Twiddle your thumbs as Luigi does.
I mean, they're challenging. Yeah, I screwed up a few times, but I'm a fast learner, so I'm able to do this.
Once you've moved Mario, you just twiddle your thumbs as Luigi does his part on his own. There
Twiddle your thumbs for half a second.
are even segments where he will actively
no.
work against you, like here when you need to step on numbered panels and
Okay, this part was challenging for me at first, but like I said, I'm a fast learner, so I was able to do this. I was able to get it eventually.
order. But this leads to completely contrived, unbelievable sequences where you need to beat out your own partner so he doesn't fail the puzzle for you both.
Well, you didn't fail in this puzzle, so why are you complaining?
One new mechanic is called Luigi Logic, but its lengthy animation generally just results in Luigi telling you how to progress or work.
What's wrong with the animation? I thought it's pretty good. Whoever animated this game, which I'm gonna find out once I finish playing this game, is like, you gotta give props to them. Because even though it's not Alpha Dream or something like that, it was like, whoever animated this game did a pretty good job. You can't tell me that they didn't do a fantastic job on this. You can't say that.
But its lengthy animation generally just results in Luigi telling you how to progress, or worse, doing it for you. Brothership feels stuck between adhering to the old style and trying something new, and it fails at both by landing uncomfortably.
How is this not trying something new? It's like they're having Luigi do a lot more and be more special. You're discrediting Luigi again.
The one place Brothership manages to shine is its combat, which as a whole is awesome. Mario and Luigi fight with their signature jump attacks.
Yeah, the combat is pretty good. Especially the bros attacks. A lot of them are pretty good.
A combination of new and returning bros attacks. Combat is mercifully the place where performance issues are the least noticeable, as
Well,
battles
duh.
rarely suffer from frame rate dips.
I love Luigi Logic. It's pretty good.
There are surprising
But wait a minute, didn't you just say that y'all had a problem with the animation being too long or laggy or whatever?
even used to better effect here, with the ideas he comes up with during the great boss
I just
encounters
caught
making
you
his
being
important fights
hypocritical.
feel appropriately grand. Learning enemy patterns from the large roster of dangerous foes is always satisfying, as you have to memorize their tells to figure out when to hit the dodge button. And to its credit, leveling
Like, that's the best part of, like, the combats and the battles in the Mario and Luigi franchise. Especially in Bowser's Inside Story. You gotta memorize what the enemies are doing and how they move and stuff like that. All that shebang-a-bang. Anyway, continue.
Its Nigel and Brothership's combat are battle plugs, equipable modifiers that impact your power, defense, and more, comparable to if Paper Mario lets you swap out badges at the start of each turn.
Yeah, I remember the badges. Especially in Bowser's Inside Story. Yeah, I know I'm going back and forth between this and Bowser's Inside Story, but come on. I put it on top with Bowser's Inside Story. Ain't no 5 out of 10.
Without spoilers, the final third is a complete slog that adds nothing of substance beyond retreading the mediocre exploration and puzzle solving of the first 20 plus hours.
Well, exploring and puzzle solving is kind of what the Mario and Luigi franchise is all about. You're exploring and you're solving puzzles and battles and stuff like that. Kind of like with, you guessed it, Bowser's Inside Story.
Brothership kept stringing me along and running in circles to the point where I felt like it
So?
was actively disrespecting my time. I would probably have been left with a much...
Then you probably shouldn't have played this game at all. Alright, let's hear the verdict.
Mario and Luigi Brothership is a disappointing return for an RPG series
No, it's not.
love. Apart from the combat, it fundamentally misunderstands its own past success and completely fumbles Luigi's role in puzzle solving and exploration by making him more of a pain than a partner. The story is simplistic.
What are you talking about? It's like, I keep saying, what are you talking about over and over, because they're like missing the point of the Mario and Luigi franchise. Luigi is supposed to be your partner. He's supposed to help you. They're the Mario Bros.
Original, its attempts at humor fall flat. And
What did they say about
partner.
unoriginal?
The story is simplistic and unoriginal. Its attempts at...
Well, it's way more original than the usual Mario Bros. Games. Kind of like how Bowser's Inside Story was original. And Thousand Year Door.
holds your hand to a ridiculous degree. It's not...
They're probably holding your hand because you don't understand like how a lot of the gameplay works, or how this whole franchise works, or even how great storytelling works. Yeah, we gotta hold your hand for all that. So thank you for telling us that. Thank you for being honest about that.
not a total disaster, as the flashy turn-based battles are some of the best this series has had, but even those somehow managed to wear thin as the...
But if you're at least saying that the fighting's good, then why are you saying that this is a 5 out of 10? You could have said something like 7 out of 10. Or 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is kind of pushing it, but, you know, you could have said that instead of 5 out of 10.
which suffers from surprisingly bad performance issues nearly the entire time.
The performance issues that you talk about aren't even that bad. You're acting like this is like a multiplayer game where the servers chug. I think you need to go back to multiplayer games. I'm sorry.
But the Mario...
Wow, mediocre? Wow. It's kind of like this review. Mediocre. Oh my god. You want to know my verdict for Brothership so far? I've gotten so far into it already. Without spoilers, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Because like I said, I put it up there with Bowser's Inside Story. I give Bowser's Inside Story a 9.5 out of 10. So you're up there with Bowser's Inside Story Brothership. So IGN totally got it wrong with this review. I don't think this game deserves a 5 out of 10. I don't. And I've been meaning to talk about this for a good while, but I had to play the game to see for myself, and so far, like, I like what I'm seeing. I feel like I'm 2/3 done with it. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to the end. And it's like, it's so good. I love the characters. I love the story. I love how anybody and everybody, especially Mario and Luigi, they have like some sort of loving connection. Friendship. Love. It's like you see and feel that in that game. And IGN is missing that. They missed that. That's why they're accusing this story of being bad. But it's not bad, you guys. I highly recommend you check out Brothership. It's so good. Don't listen to IGN. Don't listen to these people. They don't know what they're talking about. And besides, I'd rather listen to my little bro. My honorary little bro. Alright, I had to switch to my phone here because my tablet ran out of battery. But anyway, Brothership. Cool video game. I recommend it. And I got the best Nintendo connoisseur that a girl could ever ask for. Thanks, Matt.